Your C8 doesn't need an intake, it doesn't need a tune, and it definitely doesn't need a $4,000 exhaust to sound angry at a Starbucks. The single best first modification for a Corvette C8 is wheels and tires. Not glamorous, doesn't show up on a dyno chart, but it changes the car on every corner of every drive. Skip it for the louder stuff, and you'll come back to it anyway, having burned money along the way. Let's set the stage because the C8 is genuinely one of the best performance values ever built. A base Stingray runs about 67 to 72 grand in 2024 money. The LT2 6.2-liter V8 makes 490 horsepower, 495 with the Z51 package. It's mid-engine, near 50-50 weight distribution, magnetic ride control on Z51 and up, an 8-speed dual-clutch, strong Brembos, and a chassis that's stiff as a rail. GM did almost everything right. The thing they left on the table? The contact patches. Here are the numbers that matter. The base Stingray rolls on a 2/145/35 ZR-19 up front on an 8.5-inch wheel, and a 3/30 ZR-20 out back on an 11-inch wheel. Z51 keeps the same front, but widens the rear rim to 11.5 inches. But the real difference is rubber. Z51 cars get Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, legitimately one of the best summer tires on earth. Base cars get Pilot Sport All Season 4. Decent tires, but numb and imprecise at the limit. And on a 490 horsepower mid-engine car, that vagueness is exactly what makes the rear feel snappy when you push. Now, you could just swap tires on the stock wheels. That's a legit partial fix, especially if you go to a sticky summer tire on a base car. But a proper wheel upgrade does three things tires alone can't. 1. Weight. The stock cast wheels are heavy. That rear weighs about 28 to 30 pounds. A quality forged wheel in the same size drops to 20 to 24 pounds. That's 3 to 6 pounds per corner, up to 24 pounds total, and it's unsprung rotating mass. You feel it in acceleration, braking, and steering. 2. Fitment, dialing in offset and width to fill the fenders right. 3. A real tire compound choice. So what do you actually buy? On the premium forged side, the Forgeline GA1R is fully forged, made in the USA, and runs about $400 to $5,500 a set. The HRE Flowform FF21 is flow-formed and much lighter than cast, around $2,800 to $3,800. But the smart money pick for track guys is the Apex SM10. Flow-formed, huge community support, just $1,800 to $2,400 a set. Step down to mid-range and the TSW Nürburgring and Rohana RFX series cover daily and stance builds from $1,200 to $2,200. For a street-focused staggered setup, target a 19 by 9.5 or 19 by 10 up front, ET50 to ET55 with a 245 or 255 front tire. Outback, run a 2011 or 11.5 ET59 to ET65 with a 305 or a 315. But here's the catch. The C8's front suspension geometry is brutally sensitive to offset. Too much negative offset and you rub the liner and suspension. Too much positive and the bearings wear and it looks wrong. Verify against confirmed builds. Threepiece.us is genuinely useful here, with owner-submitted C8 photos and real specs. A spec sheet lies. A photo of an actual car at that exact offset doesn't. Now the part that ends arguments. Why this beats every other first mod. Start with an intake. Corsa, Air Raid, Haltech, they make $400 to $800 and 5 to 12 wheel horsepower with a tune. On a 490 horsepower naturally aspirated V8, you do not feel 8 horsepower. You hear it. You don't feel it. Tires you feel in every single corner. Exhaust? The Z51 system is already good. A Borla ATAC or S-Type runs 1,800 to 2,500 installed and sounds fantastic, but it's making 5 to 15 horsepower without a tune. You're paying $2,000 to sound better. Valid goal, 0 handling change. A standalone tune from Kotek or Vengeance cleans up throttle and shift points, but can't do much on a stock naturally aspirated engine. And the C8's magnetic ride control? It's world-class from the factory. Coilovers from Öhlins or KW run 1,200 to 3,500 and only make sense for hardcore track guys. For everyone else, the stock MRC on good tires outhandles a coilover car on stock rubber. Same logic kills the big brake kit argument. The factory Brembos are strong. Slap a $4,000 kit on a car running stock tires, and you've upgraded the part that wasn't the limit. Better grip lets the brakes actually work. Tires first, then brake pads. Hawk horsepowers for street, Carbotech XP8 if you're tracking. The pattern is always the same. The 4 contact patches are the bottleneck, and almost every other mod is downstream of them. What does that actually buy you in numbers? A Z51 from the factory pulls about 1.04 G lateral. Put Pilot Sport Cup 2s on properly spec'd wheels and you're at 1.1 G or better in real testing. 60-0 braking improves 5 to 10 feet on a stickier compound. And at horsepower DE events, owners report 2 to 4 seconds of lap time per mile of track. That's not placebo. That's the chassis finally getting to speak. Let's talk tire pairing so you don't waste this. Street and daily, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, 280 to 380 a tire, the best all-rounder you can buy. Or the Continental Extreme Contact Sport Euro 2. Slightly more aggressive, killer in the wet, a bit cheaper at 240 to 340. Track and horsepower DE. Pilot Sport Cup 2, the benchmark. 350 to 500 a corner but wears fast on the street. Autocross, Bridgestone, Potenza, RE70 RS or Falcon Asinus RT60. And if budget's tight, a great tire on a decent wheel beats a mediocre tire on a great wheel every single time. Prioritize compound. Now the mistakes that wreck this mod. 1. Cheap no-name tires in C8 sizes exist, and they are genuinely dangerous on a 490 horsepower mid-engine car. Stick to Michelin, Continental, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Goodyear. 2. Skipping the alignment. After any wheel change, get a 4-wheel alignment, 100 to 175 bucks. Run negative 1.5 to 2.0 degrees of camber, front and rear for street. Save the negative 3.0 for dedicated track. 3. Ignoring TPMS. The C8 will throw lights and can drop into limp mode if those sensors aren't programmed. Either transfer your stock sensors or buy new ones at 25 to 40 each and program them. 2 more quick things. Lug nuts torque to 100 pound-feet. Use a torque wrench, never an impact gun, and recheck after the first 50 to 100 miles. And understand the trade-off. A staggered setup can't be rotated front to rear conventionally, so the rears wear faster. That's the price of the wide rear look and grip. The install itself is a 2 out of 10 in difficulty. Mount and balance is 15 to 25 bucks a wheel, 60 to 100 for the set. So here's the verdict. If you've got a base Stingray on all seasons, do this first, no debate. If you drive hard on the street, hit track days, or want a mod that's both form and function, wheels and tires win. When is it not the move? If you already have a Z51 on Pilot Sport 4S and you're happy with the grip, a tune or exhaust is fine as your first step. And if you've only got 500 bucks before a track day, buy brake pads and a fluid flush instead. That's a safety call. The C8 is a mid-engine supercar that embarrasses cars costing 2 and 3 times as much. The worst thing you can do is dump your budget on stuff that doesn't change how it drives. Get the 4 contact patches right, and everything else gets better and easier. If you're shopping Fitment, go verify your offsets against real C8 builds at threepiece.us before you order. It'll save you a 4-figure mistake. Drop your current setup in the comments, hit subscribe if this saved you some money, and I'll see you in the next one.